Hello, everybody. This is my second in-person speaking, so please stop me if I run away or if I exceed my time slot so that, we're not going to miss Judith's amazing talk afterwards. My name is Yagmur. I'm working as an SEO strategist at Signal, which is a SEO agency in London. I have more to tell about myself, but we have a limited time, so I'm just gonna go through my slides and then we can have a talk later. So I will be mentioning about the importance of creating an SEO content strategy for your startup and developing a content strategy for your startup phases. Like I will be sharing with you a free Google Sheet that I created for you to follow for your startup journey. And then I will be sharing some previous experiences I've been getting involved because I started from the startup environment and I had the chance to get involved there, organic growth processes like content marketing, SEO, or even like WordPress editions and everything. So I know the pain points, the needs, and the limited budgets and also sources as well. So let's get started. With the importance. So why really we want to create SEO-driven content strategy? I think this is the first question we need to ask ourselves because we all want to rank higher in search engine results. We may want to increase our organic traffic, organic revenue, and maybe we want to increase our brand awareness because we are a startup. We are maybe entering the really not known area for ourselves. And maybe we want to reduce our reliance on paid ads. I'm not saying that we are not going to do paid ads, but maybe we want to optimize them together so that, we have a limited budget so we can, spend our budget for the most important things. And maybe we are planning to collect some leads and then contact our potential customers later, etc. So we just need to make sure that what we want from this strategy so that we can analyze further and then grow our startup further. So for the developing the content strategy part, what we should do is, if it is a new website, if we are starting from the scratch, we first need to set our goals for this website content. As again I said, why we want to do this, and then we should start, breaking down the steps and the points. Or if you already have a website, if you already have been creating a content for your website, maybe you want to start with auditing your content, like what has been working so far or what has been making you fail in your organic growth journey. So, and then you will be diving, into your audience, your target audience insights, identifying your competitors, both for if you're a commercial side, if you are selling a product, you may want to split your target audience, like for the content strategy, because your editorial competitors might be different than your normal commercial competitors. So just don't forget about checking those different websites as well to get inspired or, receive more traffic or revenue. So I know that when we talk about this really fast and in 30 minutes, it's becoming more and more harder to follow. So that's why I started creating a content strategy roadmap for startups so that you can make a copy and then start filling the questions, answering the questions by yourself, and then see what kind of areas that you are missing on your own startup and own journey. And then we will be continuing to clustering the topics and, making sure that you want the same thing that your colleagues want or, your startup needs, etc. So I will be sharing the slides afterwards, so don't worry about this bit.ly link. I will be sharing that as well on my Twitter account. And the sheet will be including some content audit template as well. This is actually the summary of the sheet. I just wanted to make it bigger for you. You don't have to, use every part of the sheet. You may just want to use some part of that just to make sure that you are adapting it to your startup's website content and your strategy. But you may want to discover your organic performance data just to see what kind of things are working so far and if you're receiving transactions or revenue or sign-ups, whatever you are looking or considering as a KPI for your startup. And then you may want to include your content details like word counts of the blog posts or the category pages or product pages, or because maybe you want to compare them with your competitors later. Or if you are working with authors, like too many freelancers, and if you want to make sure that you are creating a high quality content, maybe you want to include your author details, so you will be following their performance as well, so that you will continue with a part of the writers that you are really satisfied with in the future, because it's all depending on your budget, it's all depending on your needs for the future. So on-page data, obviously, we want to include that in our content audit as well, because still it's important. It's not like the end of the world, I know, but it's still important to have a solid metadata and optimized metadata, because you're a startup. You may not have the further budget to spend, but these are the things that you can start from the beginning and small, and then you will be getting the more complicated strategies in the future. And then again, your backlink profile. I know you don't have maybe a backlink profile at the moment, but you will be building your domain authority as well. So you may want to consider this step on the way, and then you can just add it to your content audit and see what kind of pages are contributing to your domain authority and trustworthiness as well. And in addition, for social share, if you have been using your social accounts very regularly, or if you have too much followers, or if you think that your social media insights matter for your startup journey, like for your product or service, just feel free to include those as well, because these are all giving you idea about what kind of content you should be creating for the future too. So again, within the sheet, you will be finding these kind of tabs. So I just wanted to explain very briefly. Since we have this customer journey from the past, we have been talking about this for years. Sometimes it is limited with awareness, interest, consideration, and purchase, but we now have evaluation process, because maybe if the decision maker needs to make a decision for a very big budget, like if you are selling a very big service, very high level service, you may want to think about the evaluation process as well. And maybe if you are selling a product, and if you haven't thought about the post-purchasing process, you may want to start considering it, because you need to build the trust, you need to build loyalty, and then you need a returning customer maybe in the future. It all depends on your customer segment, your product segment, or service area. And then, of course, we have, let me get back, we have now search customer journey. We also need to take this into consideration, like informational, navigational, transactional. We all talked about this today, so I'm just going to skip this very quickly so that we can talk about the case studies as well. So again, for the roadmap, after you have been defining your audience, your goals, completed your content audit and everything, you will start with brainstorming, because you need the starting point even for your keyword research. So you will need to start with brainstorming, and then your competitor content analysis will help you during this journey. Because you need to have like at least 2-3 opinions to start with your keyword research, so that you will see your feature content ideas or potential contents that you want to create. And then you will write down the topics, and then finding your writers who is gonna write those topics. Is it going to be in-house, or you will be hiring freelancers from for your startup, or what's your budget, how many content you should be creating, or you want to create, or you are able to create. So it all depends on your budget and your KPIs for this journey. Again, afterwards, you need to use your keyword data for the content brief, so that you can provide a very solid content brief for your writers, so that they will know that what they want you to see on your website. And then you need to create an agenda, a plan, and then manage this process very clearly between your writers, your managers, your team, and maybe your editors on the website, who is going to publish this, and what you will be including in your post, etc. So it's all a very well-considered plan should be here. So I just wanted to pass those all quickly, because you will be finding all the information on that sheet I provided for free. But again, here, I just wanted to share my previous experiences from the past that I used to work at a startup, and then they have been growing so fast. And then I started working with a freelance project, and I'm still in contact with them. I still reach their data. And again, in the agency now, we have been working with a client, and they are growing so fast, so we have been providing them some strategies as well. So let's start from the past. I used to work at a platform which brings digital agencies with their potential clients, like brands, companies, whoever are looking for an agency in London, New York, anywhere in the world. And we had a directory platform, and subscription, like a membership subscription, was the first idea for the paid. So in here, what I really wanted to share is that how we can improve our organic growth, how we can improve our paid channels or paid options, considering our organic data. Let's say in here, Google Search Console, it's easy, free, and you just need to be analyzing further your content that you have been producing. So their target audience was digital agencies and their potential clients. And then we had to revise our target audience because we wanted to earn more money from our offerings, because we have been creating good content and quality content, and we have been publishing articles every day, and we had a very small team who has been getting bigger each day. So I just used a Wayback Machine free tool to see the previous version of the website when I used to work at there, and the recent version of the website, because now they have vendors directory, and this was an idea which emerged like when I used to work at there. It has been taking like years that they have been publishing this online. So I just wanted to share this with you because these things takes time. So just don't give up, don't, make yourself like disappointed or demotivated. So just feel free to discover more and make sure that you are on a right way. So how we came up with this idea? It was, again, we have been creating listing posts to appeal our target audience, like digital agency owners or their employees. So we have been creating listicle posts that they can benefit from, like software tools for, brands, UX design tools for digital agencies, or the graphic design tools for digital agency employees, etc. So after a while, we have noticed that we have been getting too much traffic from those kind of posts, and we have been getting some leads saying from the vendors. They were saying, "Oh, you would like to be in that kind of post, like a classic sponsored content option here," and we have been earning some money from that. And then we thought that maybe this could be the next thing for our startup, like creating a vendors directory, and in the future redirecting those listicle posts to our directory pages, so that we will be getting memberships from them too, and our target audience will be digital agency owners, their potential clients, and now vendors and their potential clients. So and then we decided to create more listicle posts about this, just to see the feature, just to see if there's any opportunity on that, because as I say, it was a long journey, and before you want to create a directory like that will affect your website as a startup, you want to make sure that you are going to receive traffic for those pages or for those directory pages. So it's been working well. And because I was creating a presentation for this talk, I just wanted to double check their performances since they applied this vendors directory to their website online. So they made it live like 3 months ago. I could only reach their Ahrefs data or SEMrush data, not more. But in 3 months even, their organic traffic started increasing, and their organic keywords between the first and the 10th position started increasing as well. And I'm sure that their directory platform started giving them more revenue from the organic side. So this was one example from very simple analysis on the startup's webpage, and we only use Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and Ahrefs and Zendesk, because we have been also seeing questions and the support channels there as well, and then we have been getting benefit from those data too. Another example is publishing media startup. I will just have a quick water. So with this startup, this was a side project. No one was working as a full-time for this project. And we were just, I was just hired for their SEO strategy like 2 years ago. And then we start with the content creation and the strategy. So, and they didn't have any big budget, anything else. So their initial target was the startup owners, startups actually, and who wants to, increase their brand awareness. And maybe potential investors they want to seek, but nothing more. And their target audience was not also well defined, and they even didn't know what to do, like with this media publishing platform or content website. But their traffic was started increasing, and they wanted to use this traffic for something to monetize, and they wasn't even sure what to do with this website. And then we revised their target audience because we started seeing some of the articles which were written about like top tips for working at startups or pros and cons at working at startups, etc. So we have seen that maybe job seekers could also be their target audience because there is a potential in there. We had a keyword research, we saw the potential search volume, etc. And then we revised their revenue because their revenue was coming from sponsored content, but it wasn't really well defined, and we didn't know which page to show a person who asked for the sponsored content, etc. So I told them we need to make a solid plan, like options for paid options, what we are offering to a person who came to our content website. So, and then we brainstormed, and we then created like a paid options website. Just to add a note, it was a very simple WordPress website, very simple template, so we couldn't have too much design, too much, bright design on the website. So we wanted to share our transparent data, and we integrated Data Studio to the paid options web page so that people who want to book a sponsored article on our website could see that some of the articles have been getting traffic in that month, the last month, and also the search queries they could be seeing very transparently. And then because we also had to build trust. So we have been sharing this data on the web page, and also sharing some paid options and also the free options, and see what would be the impact, because we have been also creating some bespoke projects for them. So we just wanted to see which options would be working well. And we have been selling most of the podcast sessions, and we have been prioritizing the podcast sessions with additional fee, and also we have been publishing paid articles and also doing some group articles, like bulk articles for the bespoke projects. Again, it wasn't enough for the paid options. So we have been getting some advertisements as the banners on our website, but again, we needed something more because we were establishing ourselves at a high quality multimedia publishing platform who helps startups or job seekers or whatever in the ecosystem in the UK. So since the topic was so niche, the audience was so niche, we needed to expand it, but we didn't know where to go next. So after we saw that the job seekers would be our next target audience, we came up with a 20-day action plan e-guide that we could sell for a fair price, and including because we had to give a promise, the 28 action was just not a random number, but it was well researched from the HR managers, etc. And then we just wanted to share with the audience. So we were giving the money back if they were not getting hired by a startup in the UK in 28 days. So we have been creating checklists, we have been creating CV templates, cover letters, and guidelines, and also startup lists in different industries. So they were all in the paid document. So we started selling this product online and used ClickFunnels because we didn't have a very well structured WordPress website. And then created the supporting articles for them. And the other one was Investor's Guide that we created because, again, we needed to be giving an idea for the startups, saying, okay, we are a platform and we are helping you with what? we are helping you with finding your next investor or finding your funds. So that's why, because we have been doing the research as well, so that's why we came up with the investors guide for paid options again, and we included the investors list and like their companies list, their like how to pitch an investor kind of guides, and all were like very high quality and well-researched articles and the content. And it has been getting traffic, and also we have been selling those products as well. And then this happened, like we started getting leads from those products because investors or their companies started contacting us saying, oh, we want to be in that sheet too because you are listing the investors, so we would like to be included in that sheet. So at this point, we didn't think about this, so it is another option to sell this product from the other side. So now I think the team is working on another product, and then this time the target audience is not job seekers, not startups, but investors. So I think this will be again another product idea for them, because for this product we created supporting articles again, and then we've seen that most of the search queries were coming from the investors target audience kind of segment. Sorry about my mixed language in here, if I made no sense. But again, for this product too, we only use Google Search Console to identify what kind of search queries were coming to Google Analytics to see the impacts and the leads, and we have been collecting. Or ClickFunnels, it was an easy option for us to see if we are able to sell this product, because you just want to try first to see the impact. And also the competitor's website, because the keywords that we were focusing on were only startups and scale-ups, but we have noticed that our competitors were using the keywords around companies. So again, companies and startups were almost the same in their website too. So we started using those keywords, and we were like having more audience around our content. So these were all like very small and freelance projects, and one is my previous company. But again, in here, in London, I've been working at Signal for the last 1.5 years, and we had an e-commerce brand which has a Shopify website and had many limitations, and like both from the Shopify side and also from their team, because the team was really small. But now the team started growing so fast, and then too many decision makers involved. So we have been trying to adapt to those changes as well. And we have been working with them for their content strategy as well as the technical issues and everything. And we managed to managed to increase their organic traffic, and also as well as the revenue that we set before our project. And what we first done is we fixed the technical issues, most of them, and then the new technical issues started. But again, to be able to start our content strategy phase, we needed to implement a few things, like migrating from migrating blog from subdomain to main domain, because it was a really small website at first, and we weren't really selling too much products, or like 100 products, and we needed to collect all the traffic data and signals and every content strategy on our own domain to be able to come up with a solid strategy for them. So we first managed to migrate that, and then we again optimize the metadata and on-page optimizations, the internal linkings, fixing the internal linkings, and localization problems as well. So afterwards, we decided to work on their new content strategy and new areas, because their target audience was first they were focusing on, because the idea came from the festivals and the musics, as the owners are telling us, because they have been in the concert at a festival, and their ears were like getting damaged from the high decibel music in there. So they came up with this idea that selling earplugs, which are not affecting your experience on these kind of music events, but also giving you the quality of the music with the specific filters inside. So and then they wanted to expand this audience, expand this idea and the content strategy to other people who are suffering from noise sensitivity, like ADHD, like neurodiversity and autism, and the other like sleeping, snoring, those kind of audiences. So we wanted to work on new contents on their blogs, and also we wanted to create a category content strategy, but it hasn't been accepted because they didn't want to publish too much content on their category pages, like let's say /collection pages on Shopify. So we needed to adopt those strategies into blog posts and then direct people from there to their the commercial pages. So we have been going around this process, and at the end we had managed, even with the small tweaks and small improvements, because our content hasn't been approved like for ages, and then we have been waiting for the implementation. So again, this has been a very slow process, but we managed to increase the traffic together with the client's performances and efforts as well. So we have been shortlisted for 3 awards. We didn't win this time, but highly commended for the drum. But next time we are considering to expand more. And yeah, this was the recent case study from our agency. From a startup who is going to scale up and then maybe a big brand this year, probably. So yeah, what are the key takeaways? This was a quote from a book I have been reading while coming here. It's because it was about the good life, but if we really want to SEO, a good SEO life as well, we first need to fix technical issues, because even if you create the best SEO content strategy, if your website is not, let's say, getting indexed or not able to be crawled by bots or other problems that you can think of, it doesn't mean anything. So you need to either start solving the red flagged problems first, or in the parallel you should be creating your strategy and then work on your content production as well, so you won't be missing time, and you know, you won't be missing any other opportunities too. And then use your existing data, even your chatbots, support channels, your Zendesk, CRM data. They all are your existing data, maybe social media comments, or you know, the reviews that you have been receiving on Google, because they're all kind of a content ID, and you can create content for them, even like complain about your product after someone purchased. This is the post-purchase process. You can just, you know, share a new content about explaining your product, and if you are really trusting your service as well. And review your organic performance regularly, because sometimes you may want to you may create the content, but that content might be working for something else. So you may want to discover that area and maybe get benefit from that too. And don't get stuck with one business idea. Maybe your business will be will have more potential, but you are not seeing it. Just make sure that you are touching every single point, and then seeing, like a child, seeing if there's anything else to discover. Just make sure that you are not closing your eyes for the opportunities. And check how people are reaching your website and important pages. If you are not presenting a proper landing page or proper content for a person who lands your page, just make sure that you are creating a high quality content and giving them the idea that they want to learn more about your startup or your service, because it's a new area maybe, and your product might haven't seen before. So you just need to make sure that you give more information, adequate information. And yeah, make sure you get most of your top performing product pages, because just make sure that the page that getting the highest traffic is including your most important pages, or including link to your most important pages, or the banners, click buttons. Just make sure that you are using them. And make sure you spend your budget and effort for the tasks really relevant to your KPIs, relevant to your goals. So we are coming to the beginning. Just set your goals in the first place, and then you will continue to your efforts, because sometimes startups wanted to do all at the same time, like social media posts, social media ads, like creating blog contents, category pages, product pages, or SEO technical. Just prioritize your tasks and see which one of them are really working for your KPIs at the beginning. So yeah, thanks for that. And let me know if you want to discuss things further, because I am always happy to help startups, and I'm even, checking their websites for free, just to see different cases and different, pain points. And yeah, just feel free to ask me any questions later as well. I think I'm done with my timing. Thanks for listening. Any questions?
One question from Joe.
Hello, thank you for sharing this very interesting presentation. And thank you also for sharing your template too. So one question, if you can answer quickly, because you're on time. How long would it take normally to get this process signed off by your startup client?
For the last one, it was e-commerce, and I've been in the agency, so you have some limitations with the client meetings and everything. So it has been signed off by a maybe marketing manager, and then it goes to other higher departments, and then they decide to do change, and then you create the content, and then even you have an admin to the panel, Shopify panel, you sometimes wait for the approval. So it may take 2-3 weeks, or it may be like in a one day, just do it and then, implement it. But in the previous experiences, I used to work at that company I gave the first example. So I was in the process of also implementing things. So I was taking some responsibility and initiative and doing some things really quickly, and then seeing the results quicker. And the second one was freelance company, and they were also working as a freelancer, like side projects. So again, it was taking some time, because it may even take like 6 months to create those contents and publish, and then see the results, and also create those digital products too. So yeah, I mean, it depends on how the company is fast answering your, questions and approval processes.
Okay, thank you. So hopefully everyone will be on board very quickly. Thank you.
I hope so.